Build a 360-degree view of your customers and smash your targets is the title of our next session. So we all know that customer segmentation is critical to success in the online world, but how is it done across multiple different data sources? From mobile apps to website cookies to your CRM, offline data and more, is there a way to bring all of this data together? Data management platforms such as Adobe's Audience Manager and Bluekai are often referred to but little talked about. In this next session, you're going to go through the future of customer data for marketing, ensuring you are up to play with what's happening in marketing and the next move with the next generation. As a Director of Data and Analytics at Goji, our next presenter specializes in search, analytics, display, social, and personalization across a broad range of industries. He has a passion for data-driven customer acquisition and improving the customer journey. He's a qualified person here in both marketing and psychology, good kind of mix those two together, and routinely works with brands both big and small to increase their web traffic, their leads, improve customer experience, and collaborate across new and challenging projects. Okay, please put your hands together. Big warm welcome for Matt Murfitt.
Today I'm going to take a step into the future of marketing that is often only bewildering to the majority of marketers around today. Now, I'm not here to sell you on any particular brand. Goji is actually a technology agnostic organization with services across Adobe Marketing Cloud, Google advertising, Facebook ads, Salesforce integrations, and many other great tech brands. Okay, so a little bit about me. Matt Murfitt is my name, Managing Director of Goji Web Marketing. We are a digital consultancy based in Sydney, Melbourne, and Auckland. I am a digital analyst, work a lot with analytics platforms, advertising platforms, a marketeer, of course, passionate about using technology, and experience across all of these platforms. So Goji, just for your information, is a certified Adobe partner and Google partner as well. Okay, just a couple of the organisations that we have worked with to help improve the monetisation of their website assets, including advertising. And today we're going to talk about segmentation. So what's the big deal? Why is segmentation so critical, and is it often overlooked in marketing campaigns today? Personalisation within advertising and web content. We're going to go through a case study on how that looks to the customer. The anatomy of a data management platform, or DMP. The benefits and features of a DMP. Before I continue, can I get a quick hands up? How many people know what we mean when we say the term first-party data? Okay, so the minority there. So just to clarify, first-party data is data that you own. It could be data about your customers, it could be CRM data, it could be web cookie data that you've collected from users who have already hit your website. We're going to go a little bit further into all these definitions, and this is kind of going to be more of an educational session for you. How about a DMP? Has anyone heard of a DMP before? Okay, a few more. We're going to go into that too. All right, so some of the questions we're going to answer today. How can I take my advertising results to another level? Let's say we've hit a ceiling, we don't really know how to push past that ceiling. That's what we're going to tackle today. How can I seamlessly connect all of my sales and marketing platforms? It's a question we often hear. Can I target my CRM leads through all channels and not just via email? So if I want to target my CRM customers in Google search, for instance. And how can I shift customers through my planned workflow of content and messaging based on their interactions, and then change those interactions, change our messaging based on what they've actually done across all channels? Okay, so we're going to sort of start by outlining the problem. So advertisers and agencies today are faced with unprecedented challenges. With increased competition and entrenched consumer ad blindness, brands must find a way to reach precisely defined audiences with relevant messages at the right time of the purchase funnel, or risk losing sales to competitors. Yet few marketers are effectively analysing all their disparate audience and campaign data to make better media buying decisions, more effectively target campaigns, and optimised creative to drive higher brand awareness and conversions. Instead of taking a data-driven approach to campaign management, many marketers have increased the number of campaigns across multiple channels in a bid to reach more consumers. This fragmented approach, made ever more challenging by the complex ecosystem of ad exchanges, customer data tools, and cross-channel solutions has resulted in a decrease in overall marketing ROI. Okay, but we're here to talk about the nuts and bolts of how to make this better. This is the problem, we want the solution. So this is going to be the engine room of how we make a fundamental change using both cutting-edge technology and data-driven insights to improve outcomes for both the customer and for consumers. So we talk to a lot of customers who are struggling to get the basics right. Our job is to help you bypass these issues of looking at customers across multiple devices and connect these customer IDs together so that when a customer interacts with one of your channels, it changes across all of these. Okay, so why is segmentation so important? Consumer mindsets are constantly changing. Our response needs to be dynamic. In personalization, it's a word that's thrown out there a lot, but it is key. Your competitors are already playing in this space, and if they haven't yet started, they will be very soon. With artificial intelligence and machine learning, we have exponentially more resources to enhance our targeting methods. Lack of correct segmentation is the most common problem among digital campaigns. We've proven that intelligent, creative, and dynamic segmentation can improve ROI 5 to 20 times over. So we had a client come on board around 18 months ago. They were a major solar installer in homes across New South Wales. The client was bringing in leads at a cost of $150 each, which, given they were only converting maybe 1 in 4, meant they were paying around $600 per customer, per sale. So using better, more intelligent segmentation, we found a message that resonated with the majority of customers with the ideal product, proposition, and price. Then we proceeded to test this with no less than 50 custom audience segments. As the data came in, we tested and refined further. Within 4 months, that $150 CPA was now down to $20 per lead. So that's an ROI improvement of around 750%. So how did we do this? This might look a little more daunting than it actually is. It's actually pretty simple. So let me explain what we're looking at here. In our example scenario, we have 3 channels that we're advertising through display advertising. We have Facebook, Google Display, and Instagram. So let's say we have 3 buckets or categories that users can fit into. We're going to call them segment 1, segment 2, and finally converters. So these segments are categorized based on the level of engagement they've expressed in our product. So segment 1 has viewed our product and left the website. Segment 2 has added the product to their shopping cart. It could be that they've also left a form and then left the website. And the converters have already bought. So through our advertising channels, our aim is to keep the advertising experience consistent across all 3 channels, depending on which stage of the customer journey they're in, or in this case, which segment the user is in. So segments are exposed to the advertising and automation messages we want them to see. So for segment 1, we'll want to re-engage on an awareness level based on the offering they visited. For segment 2, perhaps a sales promotion to lure them back to complete the purchase. And for converters, the aim is to sell a complementary product to upsell. So we want this to be the same across all channels, from not only display, but across email, SMS, push notifications, and even in our website personalization tool. So we can create rules that apply across all these channels to ensure users are excluded from the old segment as they enter the new stage, so audience suppression. So seems simple, right? Well, at this stage, it's not hard to plan. But scaling this up across potentially thousands of products or engaging thousands of identifiable segments means a marketing team is going to need some help. A company needs to have the technology, the data, and the capability to build and maintain a MarTech stack that delivers real results. So we're going to come back on the how to do this a little later, but first I want to take you through what this might look like to a customer searching to satisfy a need online. So let's go through a scenario of a user searching for a new car. Using Toyota as our case studied brand, now I want to see what this might look like to the customer who's searching in an ad hoc fashion, because in reality, no customer is completely predictable. Each customer journey is different, messy, and complex. Users will interact many times with ads, Google search listings, emails, and make contact via phone call, live chat, and mobile apps before potentially making a purchase or sign up. That said, let's take a look at how advanced targeting shows to a user in this purchase funnel. Let's say I'm a customer, or a customer wants to buy a new utility vehicle. They know about car sales, they go to Google, they type in car sales utes. So he sees a ute from Toyota that he likes. but he realizes that he can get a tax break on a new car, so he considers buying a new car. So he goes back to Google, types in Toyota Motors, clicks on the organic listing, Toyota, sees a homepage tailored to the prior behavior or keyword. So what actually just happened here, because this is actually not retargeting, the users come to our website, they're seeing a tailored message, but we didn't have their data. So how did we do that? Our user was already being tracked by other companies whose data we could obtain by purchasing it from them. And then we slice and target these audiences in different ways across our advertising channels or to our website. So in case you didn't know, this is called second or third-party data. So second-party data is someone else's first-party data. Third-party data is data that we can purchase from a data vendor in order to personalize our advertising or our website. Where could this get really useful? Imagine if I was a bank and I wanted to sell home loans. What if I wanted to advertise home loans to a segment who I knew was actually interested in buying a new house? Who else would have that information? Maybe realestate.com.au, domain.com.au. So if I could get their second-party data and purchase that, then I could advertise to those segments. And these are the kind of data partnerships that are happening today. And this whole area is just starting to grow. It's really just in its early inception. So this is really the future of where we're going. Okay, so back to our user on the Toyota path. They've looked at the homepage, they leave the website, and they navigate to their favorite news website. We've used CNN as an example. So they're retargeted here with messaging, general retargeting. Let's say our users actually changed their mind now. So they've decided they don't want a ute anymore, they now want a smaller car. So they return 3 days later, and they view a sedan. They start an application to build a sedan, because that's what we often do with new cars in this journey. They do a price and build, but they only partially complete, much like a form. They're then retargeted via social media and display, and then we can push Toyota's advertising to the top of search results next time that user comes back and types in Toyota Corolla. We do that by pushing information from the DMP into the DSP, which controls the advertising for Toyota. So we're actually bidding higher on that customer now, and we have the top bid, whereas our competitors' bids fall below that because they don't have this intel that the customer is really getting close now to making a purchase. Okay? So the artificial intelligence embedded within the DMP and the DSP determines how much to bid on this keyword in order to beat out the competition. So more engaged users who are more likely to convert should attract a higher bid, while less engaged users at the start of the purchase funnel are going to attract a lower bid. Okay, so in other words, the user has now been exposed to a personalized, tailored experience that's consistent across search, display, video, website content. So as the user adds more information into their search, their experience improved, benefiting both customer and advertiser. Specifically, these are advertisers who invest in high-value targeting technology. Okay, so our user comes back, they click, and they convert. So the booking is complete. So what did we just see? We saw personalization of the entire journey. We saw messaging served to a user based on the content they viewed before they even hit our website. We saw retargeted display ads to keep our product top of mind. When the customer changed their product preference, the retargeted message changed with it, so it was dynamic and it was personalized. We saw top-of-mind awareness-driven advertising occurring across multiple channels, from Facebook to the GDN to Google Search. We served relevant, useful content to a customer in the market today, not last week or last year. So it's real time. And there were bids using artificial intelligence based on the customer's engagement. Why? Because a more engaged customer is one who is more likely to purchase. So why did we do these things? Because they work, because we're helping the customer make a decision based on something they have experienced an interest in, because it's much more profitable than a scattergun approach to buying digital media. And let me assure you, this is not something that a lot of companies are doing well. So it's not always as easy as it seems, but once you connect the dots, you can really get it moving like clockwork. So how do we do this? Using a data management platform, or DMP. So a DMP, what does it do? So it collects billions of data points about your potential customers. It integrates with all of your data sources, first, second, and third-party data sources. You can build new segments from a combination of all of these, so you can really slice and dice all the different customer attributes that you have. You can target, test, and learn how responsive these audiences are. Then you can build lookalike models of your most responsive audiences. So imagine if you could isolate all of your converters across your website and build lookalike models just from those. Imagine how much more effective your marketing would be. You can try and trial new and old messaging across your advertising and website to new audiences. A quick recap of the definitions. First-party data, data that you own, from website analytics cookies to CRM data or even offline transactions. Second-party data, data you obtain through a partnership with another company. So generally a direct agreement between you and them, or a PMP, so an exchange between two companies. Someone else's first-party data by definition. Third-party data, data purchased through a data vendor available on an exchange network. Okay, so what questions does a DMP answer? Who are your customers? What attributes define them? Which exact products are they currently in market to buy right now? What are they likely to buy next? How do you reach more of them? How safe is this customer data? How does a DMP work? Okay, so the most critical function of a DMP is to singularize a customer's multiple devices into a single view of that customer. So this is really getting into the nitty-gritty of why does this actually work? How does it work? The nuts and bolts. When we think of how a customer interacts with our various platforms, from our website to our CRM, our advertising platforms, and their offline transactions, there's one major issue. All of these platforms assign the user a different ID. So for example, in your Google Analytics account, a user might have been given the ID #123, but in your Salesforce CRM, perhaps the ID is #789. So the IDs are different, meaning people aren't being treated as the same customer. To these platforms, the user is two different people. But what if we could bring these platforms together so that the user had the same ID across every platform? So that would mean that we could track every interaction, every click, every phone call, each ad impression, and every purchase for that customer. We could then, and this is critical, tailor our advertising, website personalization, and automation to them to show only relevant messaging for where they are in that customer journey. So I give you 360-degree, fully personalized customer journey. Now, you might think this sounds kind of creepy being tracked online. Doesn't that infringe on my privacy as a user? Well, it would be if it were not for two things. One, your personal data is never stored within a DMP. So instead of my name being Matt Murfitt, with my email address and phone number coming from the company's CRM, where I just bought a jacket online 2 days ago, instead I'm user #456. So if an advertiser tries to load my personal details into the DMP, the technology basically hashes it into an encrypted random set of numbers. So no personal data is actually changing hands. And secondly, if I notice I'm being targeted and followed through the internet relentlessly, we've all been there, with advertising from that website, then I can clear my cookies and my user ID will no longer be associated with my browser. So in other words, the advertiser has stopped tracking me at this point and no more ads from them will appear. But there is one caveat. A good advertiser knows that people shouldn't feel stalked online. So good advertising means staying at the top of mind for a customer who's in the market, and I stress in market, while never actually allowing that customer to realize they are being tracked online. So instead, we're helping to match the customer's need to our product or service. We're helping turn the user into a customer by their own accord. So how does a DMP work? It's just a little diagram here of all the different data sources that you can plug into a DMP. So your CRM, analytics, partner data, offline data. Data goes in, processes, manual slicing and dicing by a DMP specialist, and then gets pushed out based on what that user is receptive to. Okay, what can a DMP help you achieve? So retargeting. It's like retargeting on steroids. It's a lot more powerful than just general retargeting. You can easily implement customer retargeting campaigns based on specific activities and behaviors taken on or offline. Prospecting, so seamlessly integrating with second or third-party audience data sources to acquire anonymous data, ensuring higher precision and scale with campaigns. Site optimization, using second or third-party data to push customized, personalized content for every website visitor. Audience intelligence, contrast your site audience against second or third-party data sources to learn more about specific attributes to target more likely converters. And cross-device tracking. So this is actually a really big one because it's actually not an easy thing to achieve. A device graph allows us to understand who's actually visiting our website across multiple devices, something you can't really get without a DMP. And better ROI, using centralized media performance analytics to determine which audience performed better and where to double down. Main DMP functions. You can achieve world-class audience segmentation by leveraging your own private first and third-party data assets. You can allow marketers to slice and dice their first-party data by segment, campaign, and/or ROI outcomes against third-party data. Create thousands of highly relevant segments within a DMP to reach audiences with the right message at different stages of the funnel, and that part's critical. You can compare and measure campaign performance and share audience segments, as well as merging offline and online data. It's another thing that we've heard is a bit of a challenge with people here talking about it yesterday. Stepping away from the benefits and features of a DMP, who is actually doing this? Who are the providers in this field? So Adobe has their product, Audience Manager. Salesforce has Crux. Oracle has BlueKai, MediaMath, and Lotomy. How can I implement a DMP? It sounds really technical, it sounds really hard, but it's actually just a few lines of JavaScript on a page. Integrations can either be out of the box or custom development for tools such as Adobe or Google Analytics, CRM tools, DSPs, SSPs, or other web systems. The cost, typically between $10,000 and $70,000 per year, depends on the kind of functionality you need. If you can afford technology like this, I highly suggest you investigate. So in conclusion, the more you segment and tailor your message, the more you'll win. The expression, marketers are data rich and insight poor, is more true today than ever. My tip would be to use a digital partner who understands this and can help you find opportunities within your data. And start slowly, but make sure you start. Test and learn, that's what it's all about. Where possible, harness the power of AI or machine learning. It will do a lot of the work for you. Sell the power of enhanced segmentation and personalization into your business, because if you don't, your business will get left behind. And if you need help, please do come and speak to me about it after this session. We can help you through it.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Thanks,
Matt
guys.
Murfitt.
Thank you very much.